Arthur grew up on sweet tea and church on Wednesday night and twice on Sundays. He learned his multiplication tables along with memorizing the Gospels. He can quote you chapter and verse, and never really thought about the origin of that phrase until he was in his mid-20s. His comfort food is hash brown casserole with cornflakes on top. Never really unlearned the habit of calling people older than him ma'am and sir, which was fine since the habit dovetailed with his military career. His people, always said in italics for reasons he's never analyzed, come from Bay Minette, but he grew up in town. He is ever grateful for that last fact. Like most people who are raised with non-standard accents, he can effortlessly code switch. His mother is his mama when addressing her, but always my mother when discussing her, which, to be honest, doesn't happen all that much. If he's home, he's probably fixin' to do a bunch of things, such as carry his meemaw to the store, but otherwise he's always about to do something. But who he's justifying himself to is a question. Maybe Dom in the bad old days. His parents both have college education, so ain't wasn't an artifact found in his home, but when he visited his people, he was exposed to it. He's more likely to say itn't. His father, of course, is Daddy, even though he's a grown man who routinely carries a gun and has used it more than a few times. He lives in London and New York, and he knows where to get good fried chicken in the former and decent oysters in the latter. Nostalgia can be a fickle beast, but Arthur doesn't know when he fumbles over hazy memories of the times in Mobile hasn't been that bad, that this is as enthusiastic as he can get over his personal hell he left behind in Alabama. He does miss properly fried fish, the kind you only get in people's backyards sometimes, though. Not that he's ungrateful for his history in some ways. He knows what it's like to live a lie, which is why he absolutely refuses to do so now. He can cook. As a matter of fact, he can hunt and fish and fix an engine that's not completely composed of electronics with efficiency. This training bumped him up the career ladder in the Army, which is the case for a lot of Southern boys. Mostly, though, the one true Alabama-related pleasure he has these days is, "Baby," Arthur whispers in Eames's ear when he approaches from the other side of the crowded bar. Eames doesn't turn at the bait, so Arthur slides a hand across Eames's belly, low along the waist of his slacks. "Arthur, must you be so insufferable?" Eames huffs out in a faux annoyed breath. "I know you like it," Arthur drawls. This is a new weapon that he only stumbled upon accidentally when he took a call from home when too exhausted to remember Eames's proximity. "All too much, which is why I wish you'd cease provoking me in public when the objective is professional decorum and not displays of priapism." And Eames just ratchets up the tension with his 50-cent words in English sitting-room drama voice. Arthur rubs his completely undisguisable erection against the seam of Eames's ass. "That's it." Eames slams the heavy lead crystal tumbler down on the surface of the bar hard enough to puck the wood. He whirls around and grabs Arthur's waist, adding new bruises to the ones Arthur already has. "Unhand me, you brute." Arthur does his best scarlet and laughs as Eames tugs him through the crowd. They barrel into one of the chic Art Deco single-occupancy bathrooms. Eames flings him against the wall. Arthur rolls his forehead against the gilt wallpaper and presses his palms flat at shoulder height while flexing his spine to shove out his ass. He hears a slither but doesn't quite dance away fast enough, for Eames is holding him in place with a hand in the middle of his back. First crack of the belt against his ass earns the oof he emits. "We're still in public, you know." The words come out crisp, standard Western, what most people call television American, because it is. "Oh, regretting your fun already?" The belt cracks again and Arthur's face breaks out in a sweat. "No, I don't think you are, really. I shouldn't reward you." Eames sighs and smacks Arthur's ass again. "But I'm a weak, weak man." Arthur predictably regrets nothing, especially when Eames lets his belt drop and presses himself flush against Arthur's back, the thick fingers nimbler than one would expect on Arthur's fly. His lips are damp as he whispers right across Arthur's ear, "You vile wretch, I've never done anything for public indecency, and I refuse to give you the pleasure of altering that sterling record." He pumps Arthur's cock with the words, dry and a little painful, lovely just like the burn of the skin on Arthur's ass's sore buzz, and brighter pain of the squeeze of Eames's fingers around the new bruises on his wrist. "Do you want me to tell you that you're a bad boy? Oh, you are. I can already see you on your knees." Eames is attended by the kind of orgasms that feel like your heart stuttering off while your vision dances with floaters. He also lets Arthur go, so he crumples to the ground and doesn't have the decency to wait for Arthur to recover before he's prying his mouth open and tilting Arthur's chin up to fuck his face. He's also enough of a bastard to come way too fast, so Arthur doesn't even get to play much of the cock-hungry slut he was about to work up to. I fucking hate you. Arthur doesn't hide the burr around the words when he spits them out, not actually reduced to rage-induced loss of vocal control, but shattered by the perfect pitch sex. Again. Heard it all before. Clean yourself up, you slat, and we have a meeting in. Eames consults his watch. Oh, we're late. Arthur thinks this meeting is irrevocably ruined. Fuck me blind, he sighs. Make your bed, you lie in it, as his mama would say. Eames smiles down at him and doesn't bother to level the zinger they both know he could make. Don't be mad at me, baby. Arthur doesn't quite get it all the way out before he starts to laugh. Eames points a finger at Arthur's face, but his smile is crooked and very amused.